Hi, today I am going to summarize another book which is coding based data science book. And this is really very easy to use this book and understand from coding to data science complete coverage. So the book is Data Science from Scratch, and this is very easily available. You can buy it online, or you can also buy this hard copy of this book from any shop. So if you want to learn the data science from scratch, then this will be one of the finest book. Like, this book could offer you a crash course in Python, learn basic coding, basic mathematics in terms of coding, collect and explore, clean and manipulate the data, dive into fundamentals of machine learning, implement models such as nearest neighbors, k-nearest neighbors, linear and logistic regression, decision tree, neural networks, and clustering. Then, in addition, there are so many things which you will learn from here. In this book, there are a number of chapters which have been summarized in easily understandable English language and quite small chapters. So, for example, in introduction, you can learn the basics of data science, motivations, and then a basic crash course in Python, which you will be attending in chapter 2. Then chapter 3 is basically visualization of data, linear algebra, statistics, probability, hypothesis, gradient descent, getting data like file handling, you can also say, working with data, machine learning, then k-nearest neighbors, simple linear regression, multiple regression, network analysis, logistic regression, decision tree, neural networks, clustering, MapReduce, and these are quite a small and easy chapters. So then last chapter is like, kind of summary of the entire book, that is 25th chapter. Python, mathematics, not from scratch, like NumPy, Pandas, Scikit, visualization, R, find data, do data science, and more things. So in first chapter, in introduction, for example, what is data science? This I have introduced you very well. So any kind of data, big data, which you want to analyze and make some kind of realistic conclusion by using some algorithm and computational codings to predict something futuristic point. You are in data science. So for example, here they are saying by using some kind of code, can you find the key connectors or master regulators? So for example, here you can see from OpenEyes. So 4 is in the mid. If you remove the 4, node number 4, these are like 9 nodes, 10 nodes, which you can see here. So out of 10 nodes, one of the node which you are seeing, node number 4, if you remove this node, there will be no connection between two clusters. So that means this node number 4 is quite important, and that could act as a key regulator. So how will you predict this? By using some kind of coding or computational algorithm, a small algorithm or modules. And this is kind of Python coding style, which you can do it by using Python R or something else. Then another way is salaries and experience. If you want to analyze the salaries, experiences, paid, unpaid accounts, pending monies, pending salaries, all these things, then you need to write some kind of algorithm. And based on the payment salaries, who are the employees, which could be worth or which the company do not need it. So then you enter into a crash course in Python where you need to learn some basic of Python. So in Python, if you want to learn, first thing is you need to install Python if you are using in Mac, Windows, Mac, or Linux. And it's in Linux, I think it's mostly inbuilt. Even if it is not inbuilt Python, then you need to install the Python. It's quite easy, and there are so many ways to install Python by using short command like sudo apt-get install Python. This is one way, or another way you can go to the website of Python and follow the instruction and install it. Then in Windows, you need to go to the website of Python if you want to install in Windows and follow all the instructions how to install. And I think it is quite easy because they have .exe file or executable file which you need to just click and follow the instructions and install it. Similarly in Mac, so it's quite easy to install. Once you are installed Python in your system, then you need to go for some basic things. For example, modules. What are the small modules? What are the functions? These are the things. The small modules, that means the set of instructions which you want to write in a file and with like clear defined rules, then it is a module. And similarly, if you are making a software, they have a number of modules with separate instructions, and that is set of modules which is used for making the softwares. So now, some of the things which you need to know, like import, these are commands which is very common in case of Python. So you need to know why we are writing every time import, and then how to use the other instructions. Then it comes arithmetic. If you are using some arithmetic terms, terminologies more and more, then what are the packages you need in Python? Then functions, for example, here double function, then apply to one, another double, my print. These are some of the inbuilt functions which are quite common functions which you need to be aware. Then it comes to a string. If you are going to handle some names, some like thing written with as a text, then you need to go for a string, and then there are some exceptions which you need to handle it. For example, here when something goes wrong, then Python raises an exception. That is here unhandled, these will cause your program to crash. So you need to address the exceptions first at each step wherever you find. So next part is lists. So if you want to write some numbers, names in certain order as a list, how will you write it? How will you handle it? And these are the ways how you can write it. And then if you want to select something from the list, how to select it, then you have to come here. So this is some basic things. Then it comes tuples. Tuples are here, which is like, the list, immutable, because pretty much anything you can do to a list that does not involve modifying it. So you can do it to a tuple. You specify a tuple by using parenthesis or nothing instead of a square bracket. So here you can see it. So what tuple means and how could you write it? So these are some of the examples. Then it comes to dictionary. Another fundamental data structure is a dictionary which associates values with keys and allows you to quickly retrieve the value corresponding to a given key. So this is the dictionary. Then you can go, so this acts like a database. If you have been familiar with my SQL or SQL, you could understand what is here in dictionary and how to utilize it. And these are the details for utilizing the dictionaries. Now, default dictionary. So with the name, it looks like what it could be, but still you need to know. Imagine that you are trying to count the words in a document. An obvious approach is to create a dictionary in which the keys are words and the values are counts. As you check each word, you can increment its count if it's already in the dictionary and add it to the dictionary if it's not. Okay. So here, how could you write it? Default dictionary. So how do you count it? So you can write your own short codes to count something. Then again, so this is one way, and then there is another way which you can use it. Now, third approach is to use get. So there are alternative way if you want to count something. So you need to learn these things. You need to be familiar with this. Then it comes counter. Counter we are mostly using. That means, as it is mentioned here, a counter turns a sequence of values into default dictionary, like object mapping keys to count. So this is like, gives you very simple way to solve the word counts problem. So this is what you can do it. Then it is sets. So set is also another way to store the data into a structure. So which represents a collection of distinct elements. It could be name, it could be any object details which you can do it. Then the second reason is to find the distinct items. That means or unique items. Then send control flow, then truthiness. So these are some of the quite basic Python coding, or the similar thing exists in R and MATLAB. Then there are something called sorting, comprehensions, randomness, generators or iterators. That means repetitively generate some values for the utilization of the software or coding. Then there are some regular expressions. For example, there are some names which have some kind of common letters or characters. For here you can see cat, cat, dog, CARBS, then R2, D2, something. So there are how to find the regular expression patterns, then what is object-oriented programming, functional tools, enumerate. Enumerate is something like iteration kind of things. Then jipping and argument unpacking. Then it comes like arguments, ARGS, and KWARGS. So there are a number of things which I will be discussing next to it. This was overall thing what I wanted to say in the chapter, first and second chapter. But I will continue with this, and it will, I think, take few lectures to summarize this book. And I find it that just to read one book is not enough if you want to learn any subject in detail. Then you need to learn more things. So what I introduced earlier in first 6 lectures, it was purely about data science. But what you are learning here, this is like implementation of computational coding for entering into data science. So this will be very good